following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
Hi, this is attorney Nick Pasalacqua. The team of attorneys I have assembled at Pasalacqua & Associates has been carefully hand-picked to include the best trial attorneys in the particular areas of the law that we practice. Have you been charged with DWI or any other crime? Members of our team include former assistant district attorneys, now fighting to protect your rights 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you or someone you love been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident? Members of the team at Pasalacqua & Associates include former insurance defense attorneys, now fighting to ensure that you get every penny you're entitled to. If you need legal help quick, don't waste your time or money calling anyone else. Remember, for legal help quick, you better call Nick and the team at Pasalacqua & Associates. 315-500-NICK or 315-500-6425 or visit cnytriallaw.com today.
What's up? This is Duddy from the Dirty Heads, and you are listening to Easy Radio on DisruptionNetwork.net.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
It's that little disturbing voice coming through your eardrums right now. That distorted voice from East Utica. Weighing at an even 190 pounds. I weighed myself today at 190.
Nice.
No, it's not nice.
190?
190.
What are you, 5'2"?
Somewhere's around that time. Yeah, da, 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 da.
I bet you if you shaved your back, you're down to 180.
If I shave my back, I'd probably be my ideal weight. What's up, everybody? It's EC Radio. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Thursday. It's me, Z, present and accounted for. And joining me, as always, my man Chicken.
What up?
Getting ready for Saranac Thursday tonight.
Yes, sir.
That's going down tonight over at the brewery. You know, these are nights like this. The rain will probably hold out. So it's nice and chill, nice and cool. These are the fun nights to go down there.
Keeps the pricks out, too.
Yeah.
You know, the pricks stay home and all the cool people come out.
And that's your job, too, is you keep the pricks out.
Absolutely.
So, Saranac Thursday, go down there and have a good time, but don't drink and drive. And if you do, call Uber or CNY Cab or one of those cab companies. They're always hanging out. Yeah.
You get so many options now.
Lots of options.
You get home, Lyft, Uber, CNY Cabs. There's no reason to drink and drive, guys.
Nope.
But if you do,
we've got options for you.
We got options for you.
Joining us in the studio, a world traveler, an author, a friend that I haven't seen in a while. It's been a long time since I've seen him. He's been living on the Big Island in Hawaii. Mr. Adam Spiridilozzi joining us today. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
How's it going, Z? It's great to be here.
Yeah, man. So you've been hitting all these world travels, and, well, lately you've been in Hawaii.
Yeah, the last 4 years I've been relocated, building a life out on the island.
Yeah. Hawaii's got to be nuts.
It's a different trip. It's a different trip altogether. It's the most isolated population center on the planet. So other than the touristy things that most people go to do vacation, there's a nice underground grassroots community, people living off the grid, trying to live lightly, low carbon footprint, close to the land, changing the game, you know, trying to live in symbiosis with the earth instead of just wrecking the place.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like what we do here.
Yeah.
And it's got to be nice, peaceful, and tranquility and all that out there.
There's that. I have some friends who always wonder what my problem is. They're like, Adam, why are you so depressed all the time? I'm not depressed. You know, they're like, we're in paradise. I'm like, there's no paradise for philosophers. It's all purgatory.
And speaking of the philosophy, he wrote a book. He's got a cool little book out. It's a book of poems. And what's the name of it, Adam?
It's called Union and Annihilation.
Union and Annihilation. and it's a whole bunch of poems in it. It's dark. It's cute. There's something for everybody in there, pretty much, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different chapters, different stylistic approaches, different periods in my life, so the work sounds different. There is something for everyone, and it deals mostly with trying to transcend the duality, that our experience of what happens, we put everything on a line and make opposites out of everything, and those points that are opposites, I feel like aren't so far apart that they're really the points where the circle connects. And so they're paradox points. So these things that we make opposites in our perspective are really where there's some truth to be found, because those opposites are actually closer to each other than the way they look, the way we put them on that line.
When I woke up this morning and looked at my calendar and realized he was coming in, I'm like, my mind's going to be blown today.
I know, I forgot. I should have gotten stoned.
No doubt we should have. Pack one up. Anyways, let's go back to talk about Hawaii, because the reason why you came back to New York, the volcano's erupting over there, and they had to evacuate pretty much your whole neighborhood. Is that what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Is pretty much that whole neighborhood gone somewhere else?
The whole lower southeast of the island is called Puna. The last town is called Pahoa, and then there's a 10-mile road to Kalapana, a 10-mile road to Kapoho, and a 15-mile road in between those two, and it makes a triangle at the bottom part of the island. And it's pretty off the grid and rootsy, and it was strange. I was just taking my yearly trip back to New York and trying to pack a light bag, and then we started to get earthquakes. And so for 2 or 3 days straight, we're having little earthquakes.
Like how big?
Every 10 or 15 minutes. 1.2.
Wow.
2.3.
But enough to feel
3.1. But yeah, little rumbles. So, we live on a volcano.
Right.
The lava's been flowing. It's always been flowing, but it's been flowing from the same spot for 30 years. So everyone just has avoided that spot unless they're going out there as a tourist or want to go see the lava because it's a really special phenomena. But everyone's watching to see what's going to happen, because all these persistent earthquakes were not the norm. So something happened at the crater, and where it was flowing, which is like the overflow valve or the pressure valve on a boiler, it stopped. So the lava's like creeping underground, rumbling everything, looking for somewhere new to come up. And the only surprise, because not surprised by lava because we live on a volcano, it's flowing all the time. The surprise was that it started breaking open streets and coming up in the middle of a subdivision in a neighborhood. And it was pretty spectacular. But I was really confused in my packing process, because here I am trying to pack a light bag for New York.
Do you run the hell out of there, or are you sitting there taking video?
Well, then I started packing like survival gear. Okay, I need this and need this. And then before I know it, I'm like packing up my whole house, knowing that this lava comes out of the ground. And if I'm away for a month and it decides to turn left instead of right, there's nothing I can do while it was away. So I packed up all my belongings, the tools, the guitar, the paintings, the drums, just the music and the art, and put it up in storage at my martial arts instructor's place, 30 miles north, up on the hill a little bit, and just came back. I'm going to give it a minute to rest and see what's happening.
Take some time off.
Yeah.
Well, it's summertime, and you got to watch your well-being too. You don't want to mess with the lava.
I'm pretty laid back and chill. It takes a lot to get me stirred up. But 3 days of earthquakes and lava coming out of the street, I was a little shooken up.
Yeah. Was there any death? Anybody die from that experience?
No, I don't think there's. Lava moves in a way that unless it's a big explosion and eruption, which is not what we're happening. It comes out of the ground and then it slowly moves and eats up forest, and it goes slow because it's breaking trail. Then once it breaks trail, it starts to flow like a river, but by that time, you've had the time to move.
What about the gases emitted from it?
That's also another issue. Even jungle that hasn't burned, anything near it is completely brown and destroyed from all of the gases. And some of my friends who are like, I'm not leaving my house, because lava's unpredictable. It could flow and burn up all this, but it could never go. It might not just go in your direction.
Right.
So I had friends that are just, diehards. They're not leaving their house. But they're sleeping in a gas mask. Because if the wind changes at night and those gases come toward you, you're done.
What kind of gases they breathing off? Do you know?
It's like sulfur dioxide, I think.
Yeah. It stink.
It stinks.
Yeah. You could smell it a mile away, I can imagine.
Everything's probably covered in ash, you know.
There's been a couple, when the eruptions come out of this fissure, like most of the news footage you see, there's gases that come out but not ash. But since the top of the crater is also influenced, the lava that was sitting in there in like just a pool, it's called like a lava lake in this crater, which is like always there. It never erupts because it's always got like this overflow valve down here. That lava started like lowering in depths because it found a new place to come out of the ground. And when it goes below the water table, water starts to like pour in and steam and create like explosions that like create the ash. So there is some like ash fallout from the main crater, but that's like a separate phenomena from like all the lava that's flowing down in the hood.
Wow.
Jerry D's checking in and said, "Who's better than this guy?"
Well, Jerry D's pretty up there.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude.
He definitely is. You both are. Both amazing human beings. But, man, that sucks, though, that you had to evacuate everything. And then, well, at least you get to come back here in Utica for, like, the summer. And there's things
I usually come back once a year.
Do you?
This year was like a year and a half, you know. I mean, I love this family. I love my tribe here. I was in the trenches with you guys for a lot of years. So
Yeah.
I don't want to lose the threads of my friendships and connections here, the artists that I know, people that help shape who I am, you know. So, yeah, this is still a big part of my friends and family and life, and I don't want to lose touch with that, so I come back.
What'd you do with the bus? Where's your bus? Is that on the
It's
island,
up,
too?
No, it's up north.
It's up north.
It would have cost a couple grand to send it over on
I
a
can
ferry.
only imagine how much that
So
would
you
cost.
still have it, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just sitting there. That bus was something else.
For sale. It starts right up.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, but you need, like, a CDL, don't you, to drive that thing? Do you
Because
need a
it's registered as a mobile home,
Uh-huh.
you don't need any special licensing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's registered as a mobile home.
If you were going to try to take people to baseball games or concerts,
Uh-huh.
you'd have to like switch the class and get a different license. But if you're driving it around as like a homestead, you know, off the grid, roll around, do your life thing, it's all G.
Jerry D saying it's still in my driveway. It's a different.
I did park at Jerry's for a couple nights.
I can see you getting out. Shitter's full.
We had
Yeah, man. You have lived an interesting life, though, Adam. I mean, you've been all over the world, pretty much, right?
well, it's not all the world,
Not all.
but I've definitely explored.
yeah.
I've definitely explored.
'Cause he's a philanthropist. He'll just like take off and just do whatever.
I have this pattern. It seems like I was always committed here and into this community and working and living and trying to generate, you know, things to go on here and to get artists together, working on projects, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like I would work for a few years, save up, and then just, you know, take a walkabout, disappear for 8 months at a time, not to leave or to move, just to travel gives you different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get caught up in our own stuff and we can't see out of our own perspective. We're too close to our own life sometimes, and travel's a way to, you know, shock us out of that. Okay, no, I'm in a different culture, and people think differently, and they live differently, and maybe what I was thinking about what was right or how it had to be, you know, it softens and changes your perspective because you get a view into the myriad of ways that you could live.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the theme this week, though, with the guests that we've had that all we're from here and they moved somewhere else and they've come back to Utica, and I feel like Utica is a great place to come back to. You know what I mean? Like you go and travel and learn a lot of stuff. You could always feel like you could come back to Utica and people accept you and you'd be home again.
It's deeply rooted too.
Yeah, if you've made roots here and it's home is always there when
Yep.
you're done leaving.
I tell these guys all the time too, is step outside your comfort zone and explore different things. You know, stop. Everybody gets so complacent in their life, and it just goes through the motion every day. It turns into Groundhog's Day. We'll stop that and try to do something outside the box. Think outside the box. Maybe take a trip by yourself somewheres. Or I think it's important to do that and explore just for your own self-being.
Well, there's a certain, how do you say, familiarity gives you security.
Yeah, true.
And in a dog-eat-dog world where you're always just like, you know, most people are living week to week, you know. It's not like everyone's got a bunch of money in their pockets, able to, like, bounce around. A lot of people are just in the trenches, you know.
Yeah.
Raising their families, doing their thing. They don't have money to, like, just take off for a minute and have what they left there when they get back. You know, I've arranged my life that I can make these kinds of trips.
And I'm sure a lot of your friends live vicariously through you, you know, that, wow, this guy gets to go out and do all these travels while they're, you know, working their lives, building, you know, having a family and going to work and stuff. And they probably love to hear your stories.
Yeah, every year I come home and I top whatever I was talking about last year. I almost came home this year like, yeah, I have a good job. I'm making art. It was going to be really boring. I'm glad this volcano thing happened.
They got something to talk about. Are you going to write another book about this whole experience? Do you write books on your experiences?
When I'm in a new place, I take a lot of notes about how it all feels and generate a lot of scraps. But it's only when I'm away from that place that I've traveled to that I start to assemble those things and like weave them together with some poetic and make stuff out of them. I have short stories not about my actual trip to the Yukon territories up in Canada, but using all of the feelings and what I saw there, the nature, how everything like interplayed as like the fuel for the story. I put in fictional characters, but you're on a boardwalk in some Wild West town, and you know, horses and this because that's their life, you know. So when I write about places that I've been, I don't write like I was here and I did this, but I try and like amass all these details about the place, and then when I write a piece of fiction, use all those details as like the tactile stuff of the work. So it feels like that place.
So it's a basis, but you know.
Yeah, it's like the ingredient.
The names have been changed to protect the innocent type of thing, right?
Hopefully.
I can imagine too many people are innocent in your stories.
I know some degenerates.
Yeah, right.
Why you're here.
I was just gonna say, you're sitting with two of the biggest right now. So you got any plans while you're in town for a little while? You got any things you're hitting up or shows, concerts, or camping or any of that?
There's some festivals I want to do.
Yeah. Which ones?
I really like Psytrance, and it's a real down-tempo island. There's a lot of EDM and dance music, but there's not a big Psytrance community out there. And East Coast Psy Tribe is great. So in the summer, a bunch of New York comes up, DJs come over from Europe, and they'll go to After New York or these small places with campgrounds and have great 3-day festivals. So I want to do a couple of those because I've been dancing with that tribe for years, and I want to reconnect to them. Other than that, I just want to shoot the shit with my friends and connect and like shake off this the anxiety I got from being all shook up over there.
You need a trip to the Adirondacks is what you need.
I've got a country house up north, so I spend a lot of time up in Steuben.
Nice.
And it's nice. It's isolated, but I guess I'm used to that.
Yeah.
So
going back to Hawaii, what's the perception of New Yorkers to Hawaiians?
All right, so in Hawaii, they group the whole mainland together as one place.
That's Honolulu.
No, we're the mainland.
We're the mainland.
Oh, we're the mainland.
So there's no East Coast, West
There's
Coast.
no mainland in Hawaii, huh?
They almost see it all as like Babylon.
Okay.
You know, there's the mainland. Because the way civilization works here in the States, it requires you to make yourself into a certain formation based on the politics, the rules, the laws, everything. And it shapes people in consciousness, and people end up living lives that aren't who they are. But they don't know that they have choices or what their choices could be inside of these systems, which, you know, tell us what we do, how we do it, where we go, when we have to eat, when we have to shit, when we can sleep because we got to do something for this. And it's just on and on. Out there, there's like they call it island time. It's a whole different perception. It's not just that it's laid back and that nobody's in a hurry, but there's not this like pressing need to produce
rush,
more, rush, road rage. You know, you never see road rage out there because it's not just that it's a tropical environment, everyone's like having a good time. It's just that the way of life has different demands because the society doesn't have restrictions on who you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be it. I've experienced a real sense of not just freedom for an individual to be who they are, how they are, and find other community that they connect with and live and shape life together. But
like a sense of calm, you know, like you're not like everyone here. It always seems like they're in a rush or trying to get somewhere as fast, even if you're not going anywhere.
We're on the clock here, and we build our lives on the clock. You know, okay, I got a 3 o'clock with Z. I got a 4 o'clock here, and we just fill up our calendars more and more and more.
Yeah,
more appointments, more times, more deadlines, and out there, like, you stop looking at the clock so much. Yeah, you still make appointments. Yeah, you still get to work on time, but there's more of a sense that, like, it's all going to get done. You don't got to beat yourself up over it. You still got to work hard, but you don't got to break your neck in order to, like, pay the bills. But it's also in a tropical environment where if you want to grow your own food, catch your own water, put up a few solar panels, a lot of, like, your basic costs of living are less. So you don't have to work so much to have the things you want, because if you put a few seeds in the ground, you've got a year-round growing season and rich soil and sun and rain, and you can feed yourselves. And there's avocados everywhere, and there's coconuts everywhere, and oranges and lemons and limes, and just fruit falling off the trees. And that's not just a
metaphor.
And it's actual. And some people there's some rugged people out there. There's people live with a backpack and a machete. They can climb a coconut tree, you know, and if you want to forage and camp, walk around the island, live on the beach, people do it all day.
So there's not a big problem with, like, you know, homeless hunger and things of that nature.
There's a homeless problem on some of the other islands that have, like, strong cities and, like, urban, because those people stick out. But I live in a rural place, and it's more likely that someone that's homeless or camping is going to meet up with some people and join a community and help with the gardening and participate. And so there's all these, like, small-scale microcosm communities where a real sense of interdependence happens, where you're really working on things with people, things that sustain you. There's a lot of bartering. So it's like a hole in the fabric of capitalism. Yeah, you still have to make some money, but you can trade the things that you do in this type of community because everyone's making something, and it's small enough that it organizes itself like a tribe.
Yeah, that's that whole grassroots feeling. Wish we would be more like that too. The barter system.
Yeah, that sounds.
I'm all about bartering. I'll barter chicken away if I had to. Co-host for co-host.
So far, no takers.
Nobody wants to take it.
Someone tried to sell me lunch meat on James Street once, out of a bag on a summer's day.
Lunchable.
Like, I've seen some hustles out here in this town, but, like, lunch meat out of a plastic bag on James Street, not for me. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
But it made you street smart.
Do you?
I learned a lot here.
Were you part of the Kelly O'Neill? You're part of the Kelly O'Neill's crew, right?
I definitely helped support that infrastructure.
There was somebody came in there trying to sell a lamp and a lampshade separately. They want them separately, and there was, like, piss all over the lampshade, and they just asked everybody in the whole bar, and then, like, somebody, I think it was Gus, was making them, like, plug it in, see if it worked, and went through this whole rigmarole, and nah, not interested. Just sent them off.
Yeah, you got to entertain people sometimes. It's fun.
Well, everybody's on their hustle in the mainland. We're the mainland.
Well, there's a hustle on Hawaii, too. There's not a lot of work. There's a lot of people that need work, so the pay scale is really low. I did, like, carpentry jobs for dirt cheap when I got there. It's like a word of mouth. You got to build a relationship with people. So when I was there in Green and nobody knew me, it took me a minute. You know, I was working for pennies, doing stuff I get paid good for here. But that's what it took to get in the door and to have good word of mouth. This guy shows up, he does what he needs to do, and, you know, you get hired on. Eventually I end up in a nice place and a good job, but it was rough. I had to use my street smarts out there, but it's different kind of streets. It's a different jungle.
Is there a music scene in Hawaii? What's the music scene like?
Music's big.
Yeah.
The other arts are a little bit underrepresented, but the music scene's good. A lot of reggae. Yeah. A lot of roots rock, Hawaiian, fusion.
Tribal type
There's
stuff.
people traveling from all over the world, people with different instruments. They're jumping into a band. So the flavor of the music's always changing and incorporating and fusing together. I would have died for some mosh pit therapy every once in a while. Like, can I please, like, go throw some elbows in a room where people can take it? So there's not an edge. There's not an edge like New York, which I miss, but I've got my dark, brooding music that I carry with me, so I didn't, like, lose touch
who's
with where I'm from. But, like, people out there are like, what's your problem?
Who's your favorite Gur
New York's
music?
my problem. What's that?
Who's your favorite Gur music? You know that gets you going.
You know, as long as they're clenching their teeth and drooling a little bit and shouting, it works for me.
That's heavy.
You
And
know,
loud.
if they're feeling it, I'm feeling it.
Heavy and loud. You want to go out and break shit, right? If it makes you feel like you're wanting to break stuff, then it's up your alley.
I feel like Pantera's always good for that.
Oh, of course.
You know.
Well, that's good medicine. I mean, I used to go out and break stuff.
But there's no.
But now I just like listen to the songs every once in a while and stomp around the room singing at the top of my voice. I feel better.
So there's no metal scene at all in
There's,
Hawaii.
there's no metal scene.
Zero.
There's no goth. There's, you know, I try and I wear extra black out there just to make up for the lack of blacks. You know, it's pretty colorful and light out there.
Extra black. That's all I have is black. in
Right,
my
me
wardrobe.
too.
It's all black. Black. Everything's black.
Black on black today.
New York, you can, black all day.
Black all
year.
All year.
It's slimming.
But is there any major concerts that happen in Hawaii? Like bands touring through there? Or I feel like there's not.
There's great talent
Yeah.
that comes to Hawaii, not because there's a huge audience, but because they've been there, they know how cool of a community is. They come back because they want to participate. So there's some big names that come in and play shows for 100 people, not because of the venue. It's just because they've had some introduction to the island. They want to come check out that community again and be involved. In Honolulu and stuff, there's Lauren Hill played out there last year. I mean, people do come over and do some awesome shows.
A friend of mine
in
went
the city.
A friend of mine went and seen U2 and Pearl Jam there in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And she turned around, the whole cast of Lost was behind her. She got a picture of Jeremy Piven with her. I'm like, Jesus.
Wow.
It's kind of cool. So you must, get a lot of famous people must come out around Hawaii as well.
Well, the Big Island's different than the other islands. The other islands are more urban, lots of stuff going on. The Big Island has two city centers, Kona on one side, Hilo on the other side, but most of the island is zoned in a way that doesn't allow a lot of building of new infrastructure. It's zoned mostly agricultural because it feeds all the other islands. So there's some urban centers, but most of it is like, small or large organic farming and people living off the grid and close to the land and producing food. So it's really rootsy like that. People are really connected to the land and respecting it and trying to live in symbiosis.
Do you surf?
I took one surf lesson, and after 4 hours, I caught one wave. And by the time I got out of the water, I was more tired than I'd ever been in my life and sore in muscles that I didn't even know I had. Yeah, surfing's not for me. I like to swim. I'm good in the water. On top of it, I don't think that's my game.
A little surprising me because everyone talks about the spirituality of surfing and being one with the water and blah, blah, blah. And I just figured like that one might have been right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm not a surfer. I
go
gave it a whirl. I was there. I was like, all right, I
gotta
got to
give it a
try
shot.
this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't my trip.
Would you go to the water all the time, though? I would be there daily, I think.
It's a beach culture.
Yeah.
It's almost a little frustrating for me because I'm used to I want to work on projects. I'm always trying to gather artists together to work on stuff. And it's hard to get momentum on doing things when you're in a relaxed beach culture island where everyone just wants to go chill. Everyone just goes and chills. And it's medicine. The beach is medicine, so people spend a lot of time there.
What kind of art are you working on?
I've got a new series of paintings, 10 finished, 3 almost finished. I was trying to finish that body of work and put a show on out there. Most of the writing in this book is older. There's only a few pieces that were generated in Hawaii, but I tied it all together and put that out. I just launched a new website. I've got a 5-song EP I'm trying to put out. I've got 2 songs finished.
Nice.
3rd song half finished.
That's
So
good that
I'm
you're
working
still
on
doing
all
music.
these things. Music, little writing, little art. And then I have whatever my day job is to put the pieces together.
I'm glad you're still doing music. You're doing a lot of drumming and stuff like that, too, right? Hand drums.
Drumming and dance. It's a big dance community, a big percussion community. So between live drumming and dancing events and DJs packing up the Jeeps, going somewhere that only 4-wheel drives can go, dragging the generators and the turntables down to a beach, setting up an underground show, spinning records till sunrise on the ocean.
That sounds
there's a lot
fun.
of that. There's a lot of that.
I'm in. Let's do it. Let's go now. Fuck the volcano. I don't
Can
give
we
a shit.
stop
I'm
this
in.
podcast right now and go? Let's get. That sounds like a good time to me right there.
Let's
The
do it.
party on the beach till like 7 o'clock in the morning, just dancing and partying, swimming, and Lord knows whatever else.
And you're out there. It's not like the club's cutting you off at 7.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, they'll just spin all day. People are hanging out. They made the trek out there. Some people didn't have 4-wheel drives, so they had to walk a path for an hour.
You don't have to
get
worry
there.
about like law
I
enforcement.
was gonna
or
say
anything.
Hawaii 5-0.
The kindest police force I've ever met in my entire life.
Really?
They have one light on the car. It's always on. They're there for you. They're not like staked out, looking to get you, looking to make a quota. They'll give you a ticket if you're not wearing your seatbelt because they want everyone to get home. All right. But they're the nicest police force I've ever met. They're totally chill. They just want people to be safe, and they're there for you. They're visible. They show up, and there's no animosity or strangeness or friction between like the populace and the police because they're actually protecting and serving.
Uh-huh.
They're not like out, you know.
What are you up to?
I can give you a ticket for this and this. I'm making my quota, et cetera, et cetera. It's none of that. It's totally chill.
It's important for the police department to have a good relationship with the community like that.
It's rare,
Yeah.
but it seems like how it should be.
Mhm.
Right.
Right on, man. Right on. Let's go back about this book. Talk about this book. How many books have you written?
It's the only book I've put into any publishable format.
Circulation, yeah.
I've got a dozen short stories that I want to put into a book of short stories. I want to write a couple more that are hashed out in outlines. And once I get that as a grouping, that'll be the next one.
Mhm.
I've written a lot of like theater scripts and like vaudevilles, little comedy sketches, and done live performances with those, but never done any like publishing and putting them together. But when I was here and we were running the art center, it was more like grassroots, and you could do all the stuff and knew all the people, and you didn't need like a web presence
Right.
back in the day. And I like Hawaii as a home base, but I still want to participate in the rest of the art world. So I've tried to move into the modern age by putting a website up and building it as a vehicle that when I have a new book or some new drawings or new whatever I'm doing that comes into, you know, you can add to cart, you know. So that's there. That allows me to be wherever I am and drop new work online.
What's your
Let
website
people
address?
find it. It's just my name.com. I guess my name's not so easy to like type in.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So
I misspelled it like 9,000 times.
I don't know how tactical that is as far as like getting my stuff seen.
Maybe you should
Unless
shorten
enough
it up.
people type in my name and it's wrong, that like Google starts like mentioning that what the right thing is.
Maybe you should try this instead. So it's adamspirilozzi.com.
Yeah.
And you spell Spirilozzi, Spiridilozzi.
Yeah.
Got that.
Easy.
Oh, yeah, it's super easy.
Easy. Rolls right off the tongue.
Italian much?
You got a lot of vowels in your name, pal. A lot of vowels. You grew up up north, right? Did you grow up up north?
Yeah,
Were you like the only Italian in
I was
Boonville?
definitely the only Italian in Boonville. Maybe not the only one.
There's
but-
like you and one other guy that we're friends with.
That wasn't even Boonville. My parents were off the gridders, so we moved to the middle of nowhere and built a little cabin in the woods and lived off the grid. I ended up going to school in Boonville, but our place is backed up against 200,000 acres of state land. So I just grew up out in nature. You know, we didn't have electricity or running water till I was like 10, so we had a very like rootsy upbringing. My childhood was pretty like hands-on.
He lives at my camp. That's basically what it sounds like my camp is like.
Yeah, your North Country place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah,
Love
we
it.
dug in. My parents, we just wanted to be out there and raise us without the constrictions of, they saw, you know, the changes that were happening in community. They didn't buy all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wanted a different life. So they built it for themselves and they raised us up in it.
Right.
Which makes something like going to Hawaii and ending up, all right, I'm here with a backpack and a knife, but I'm also like a survivalist because I've got that kind of hands-on life. So it wasn't such a strange thing to reconnect to, okay, we're going to jungle hut. We got this. You know, I started out just camping and figuring it out.
Yep. Well, and if shit was ever to go down, I'm going with Adam. We're going in the woods.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident with him as my tour guide.
I'd love to get you guys out there.
Yeah.
You can do a live show.
I would love to do a live show from the Big Island or something like that.
I'm going to go back in August or September.
Okay.
See what's up. I'll lay
One of these
I'll
days.
lay the groundwork for a nice tour for you guys.
Well, that's what he said before we went on. He was like, I had so many invites to all my friends, and I've only had, like, would you have, like, one visitor come visit you so
I had
far?
one person.
One person come visit you out of the thousands of invites he threw out there.
Which
Well, it's gonna
surprises
happen.
me.
It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to Hawaii right now.
It's a heavy fare.
Yeah,
It's a long travel time.
it is long, huh? You got to fly to California and then fly another 4 hours after that, right?
It's just as far from New York to California as California to Hawaii.
Is it really?
It's out there.
That's a long day. That's a long day.
Yeah, 22 hours.
What's the time difference from here to there? 5 hours?
6?
6.
They don't have daylight saving time.
Uh-huh.
So it's 6 sometimes or 5 sometimes, depending on what's going on here.
What's he posting up right now?
The website.
They're posting up your website. We got your website linked up to the comment here on Facebook. If you have any comments for Adam or any questions, please hit us up on our text line or hit him up on the comment line. We are live on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and Periscope and all the streaming platforms. We're all over the place. You can find our D anywhere.
Well, if
and
we,
your D. You
if
can
we-
find your Ds wherever you want to.
If we go to Hawaii, we definitely got to go on those beach parties.
Oh, I would
Absolutely.
spend my whole time at one of those beach parties. Do they do like a luau and all that? Have you been to a traditional Hawaiian
Yeah,
luau?
there's that.
Luau.
The Hawaiian people are great. They have their own culture. They may have been annexed and occupied by the United States, but they still feel like it's their island.
Mhm.
And there are parts of the island that are theirs. And you got to go there with a special respect that it's not America. And you got to have your wits about you. They're really kind people. The aloha spirit, the welcoming is epic. And they're just a rootsy people with an amazing indigenous culture, great dance, great ritual, great spirituality. They're brilliant people, and it's been. I thank them at times. Like, thanks for making me welcome on your island. You know, people go there and they think it's the United States because, Hawaii is part of the United States. It's really not.
Mhm.
When you look at the political history of it, it's unsettled. Obviously, we're not going to leave as a nation, but the feeling there is mixed.
Have you ever hit up the other Polynesian islands like Fiji or Samoa or any of those?
I haven't. This is my first island experience.
Yeah. Would like to check out the Fiji Islands
Yeah.
and Samoa. Any of those. I had a friend from Samoa.
A few of them,
And
yeah.
a beautiful human being. Very nice, courteous, calm, cool.
I'll tell you.
But if you pissed him off, oh my God, he'd snap your neck.
Real calm, cool people, and superiorly athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at these guys, Simone, they
Mhm.
got a little bit of chub to them, but man, they can haul ass. They can run. They surprisingly athletic.
We got some people checking in from Berlin right now. It says, greats out of Berlin. What's happening here? So thanks for checking in. Paulie Mintz is the name on the Twitter or the Twitch handle. So thanks for checking in, Paulie. And we appreciate you tuning in. And if you could, if everybody could, just click the share button and share this video and get it out there to everybody. It would help Adam out a little bit and us as well. So AdamSpiridilozzi.com for more information on all your. You have your book on there. What else can we find on your website?
It's broken up into visual art, writing, and music, and then things that are unfiled, mixed media stuff. So in the writing category, there's the poetry book that's finished, but in the short stories, there's like a short story that's there, but like some talk about the book that's coming up with all of the short stories. So there's a little bit of everything. There's a couple songs you can stream, and an album coming out. So it's like works that are in process that aren't like a sellable product, a finished product yet. There's little teasers there and like glimpses into what that project will be and how it's shaping that I'm updating as I create new content.
Do you update your site yourself?
Yeah.
You do it all yourself?
Well, I have a designer that built me
Uh-huh.
the whole thing. She spent a year with me working on all the details, hacking code, and like putting it all together. I had a sense that I wanted the site to be really tactile. It's it's like parchment paper and textiles and typewriter type, and it's organic. I really wanted something that felt organic because I don't connect to the computer so much. I still handwrite, and I need to like smell what I'm working on and touch the things. That's how I connect to my medium in art. So it's a necessity to translate it to, you know, a digital format to participate in the world. And so she was really patient in like listening to my ideas and creating the feel for it that I was looking for, and it came out pretty nice.
Right on, man. Very cool. You gonna be playing some music when you're around town?
I don't have anything booked.
No.
My guitar's in Hawaii. I've been debating whether to send it out or just borrow one on this end for the summer so I can start jamming with friends.
There you go.
Hanging out with Gator. We've always gotten into it over the years. He's a great guitar player.
Amazing guitar player.
So as soon as I get an axe to play around with, I'd probably show up somewhere and do something.
He's still over there on...
Yeah.
He is? Yeah. He's still hanging out over there. Amazing guitar player.
Phenomenal.
The guy rips. He's one of those unpolished gems. Like, he should have been... Like, his talent is so amazing, and he should have made it years ago. But he just kind of... He goes with the flow and does his thing and just...
He's also been, you know... He was raising a family, taking care of the
Right.
kids,
Yeah.
like working in the shop,
Working
doing
a
what
lot.
he had to do. He's on the verge of retirement, and he's looking at like what the next phase of his life is.
Mhm.
The next phase of his life is putting his music first.
Good.
I don't know where he's going or where he's going with it, but he needs to take a little walkabout with his guitar.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the verge of that, so that'll be.
Maybe you can influence that a little bit for him.
I'm trying to get him out there.
Yeah?
Or we might go somewhere else in the world together. I don't know what happens.
You never know.
Wally and I are close, so.
Yeah, he needs to be out there. What an amazing player he is. We used to work together, and we used to travel around and paint Victoria's Secrets back in the day. And it's before I opened up the bar and all that. And we'd just sit around the hotel room and just jam out. And he was like, wow, how come you're not playing in a band or anything? Like, what are you doing?
When he gets in the zone, it's like it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah, he's out there.
And he's humble, so he's not like, I'm all that, but
He
like,
is.
he's the man.
Yeah, he really is.
Have you gotten a chance to check out any shows since you've been home?
Not down here. I was up in Montreal for the last couple weeks, and they had like a fringe theater festival, an international mural painting festival, and a music festival all in the same couple weeks. So all the art's out on the streets blocked off for long stretches. So I saw a lot of music and art up there, but I haven't really been out here in town.
It must be good to get back to some good food, though, huh?
Yeah, except for I gained 10 pounds every time I come home.
Yeah, it's true, too.
Do you have a hit list? Like when you come home, you have to hit a couple spots?
Well, I go a year at a time without having a Utica club.
They're cold by now if you want to go help yourself and have one,
I
too.
may.
I just,
And I haven't found good pizza on the island, so I definitely go to the pizza places that I like around here.
You don't
Just to
pineapple the
catch
pizza,
up.
do you?
No, I still
Good.
don't.
you don't
Good.
pineapple
I don't think the Hawaiians do either.
Good.
I don't know
It's
where
just
that came from.
American style.
It
Somebody
came
threw
from
it.
California. That's where that came
They call it Hawaiian pizza, but don't put pineapple on pizza, people. I'm sorry. And don't eat it with a fork.
People, you're allowed to do anything you want. But
Chicken likes to be pessimistic sometimes.
It's not being pessimistic. It's just,
Yeah, to each his
not
own.
pizza.
Somebody likes pineapple on their pizza, let them eat pineapple on their pizza. Is it hurting you?
yes.
Well,
Hurts my feelings.
go to bed. Anyways, Adam, this is fun, man. Let's plug your book again, too, and where people could pick it up at. I do like a local outlet here, by any chance? Like a
there's
bookstore or
there's some
anything?
copies down at the tram presently,
Okay.
and it's on Amazon, or you can go to the website, and it links right up to it, too.
Mm-hmm. And also your website and
Yep.
all that. Yeah, man. Yes, chicken.
I-
Oh, no.
Sorry. No, I didn't say. I was waiting for you to be done.
We have it's one of those days today. It's like gloomy outside. It's just like kind of going through the motions. Today feels like Groundhog's.
I'm living vicariously through him right now.
I know, no doubt. No doubt. We needed this.
Yes.
We're going to Hawaii. I'm telling you right now, we're going to
Yeah,
Hawaii.
come this winter.
I'd love to.
February is the month. There's some really special things that happen.
What happens in February?
There's just some really underground, like, private, like, DJ dance events and parties that have been going on for 10, 15 years. So a lot of people go there for the winter
Mm-hmm.
and go back to whatever their lives are. But, like, and a lot of people live there, but it's a great mix of international community, people that are there in the winter, and some really cool underground performances and events.
We'll have to talk to Justin Miller, our accountant over at Universal Bookkeeping, see if we can use it as a tax write-off.
Oh, we could.
We can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Providing we do a show from there.
You've got a field trip budget, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we return to cans.
Yeah, those UC cans back there, they need to go in.
We could section off a room.
Yeah.
As we were talking about off air about you section off that house that street we used to party.
Yeah,
at.
back in the college days, we drank a lot of beer, and we had a taste for Old Mill Tavern bottles, which came in a.
I think everybody back then had a taste for it.
Well, because it was cheap.
It came in a sturdy case too.
Yeah.
And so we had started building stuff out of the cases at one point. So.
Yeah, like, I remember the catwalk.
Yeah, there was a beer catwalk, a beer throne.
Wait, a catwalk? Where did the catwalk go to?
Just from random,
just around the house.
Random burlesque at, parties happen.
I got you.
Yeah.
All made out of old mill cases?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They sectioned a whole room off.
Yeah, eventually we sectioned a room off and built a wall with them and rented it out to another roommate. So eventually we brought
Was it
the
Schleppy?
bottle. Yeah, it was Jeff.
That was a wild house, huh?
We did good.
Yeah.
We did good. It wasn't Faxton Street. That was another one.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Adam, if you could go back in time and give yourself some advice, what would you tell yourself? Like, go back 20 years.
Women are dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That's
it. Everything else I figured out. It took me a while to figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's almost like your last line in the EC documentary.
I know,
Like-
chicken. You bring it up all the time.
It's great though. They're like, "What advice do you have for people opening your bar?" And he just sits there and he thinks, and he's like, "Don't fuck your bartenders," which is great advice.
Well, if you're a bar owner, yeah.
Absolutely great advice.
It gets you in trouble, and they start stealing from you. But anyways, that's from a whole nother story. Anyways, yeah, that was the party years were a lot of fun. I refer to them as my blackout years. Can you agree with yours? No?
I've got a couple missing pieces.
You got a couple
blurry sequences for sure.
Are you still in them?
No, I was immortal back then.
You were immortal back. We all were.
Hey, we're all still here, right?
Barely.
We're still kicking. We got some years in us.
Oh, yeah. I got about another 40 in me, I'm thinking.
Think so?
Yeah, I want to check out right around, 83 or something. I think I got another 40 in me. That's what I want to do.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family lives pretty old.
I don't want to get past I don't want to be a burden on somebody.
Yeah.
When you have to
It's
go to
true.
like, a nursing home or have somebody wipe your ass or, God forbid, end up with Alzheimer's and, and end up not knowing anybody or doing anything. And, I don't want to be a burden.
Maybe that's when I try skydiving.
Yeah, without the parachute.
Yeah, without the parachute. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
You ever do that, skydiving?
I haven't jumped out of a plane.
That surprises me.
I don't think free fall is my preferred medium.
You're not like
I'm not a cliff jumper.
You're not an adrenaline junkie.
No.
That's not your forte.
I get juiced on making art.
Create.
I go into my zone and it gives me all the adrenaline I need.
You're a creator. Yeah.
Now, when you got so many different styles of art, and it just because that amazes me. Like, most people, they might be a painter, they might be into music, but you go after it all, and like I just kind of wonder, like, how do you channel that? Like, what do you decide? Like, when you got something going through, you're like, oh, I want to paint, or do I want to write, or do I want to sculpt, or whatever.
It all depends on what's going on. Like, there's certain thoughts or like sequences of concepts and thought forms that are trying to figure themselves out that might turn into writing. Or if there's some raw emotions that I don't know what to do with, it might turn into a chord progression or a song. So whatever's going on inside me informs which direction I go with it. And if I've got a studio around me that has all the stations set up, then I just move around and work on all the projects at once.
So you would have you'd have a writing thing started.
Yeah, I got a writing station here, a painting spot, the music stuff set up in another room, and I just I go between all of it. I have to spend I don't have an attention span that I could paint for 10 hours or play music for a full shift. But I can paint for 3 hours, write for 2 hours, take a break, draw, do, and I can have a full day of creation because I'm
Without the mental blocks?
Yeah, I just move around so I'm not stuck in the same thing or trying to push one inspiration too long, you know.
Have you ever incorporated all of them into one performance? Like a live type of setting?
Yeah, I've done multimedia works. I put a play on in the basement of the Plymouth Bethesda Church down there years and years ago as part of my undergraduate studies, and I composed some of the music for it and built an orchestra. We designed and built the sets, wrote the script, trained the actors, and like did this multimedia. And theater's like that. It's kind of a fusion of all the medium, and it all comes together, and it can be powerful because it's like total reality creation. You know, you open those curtains, and you've generated the sights, the sounds, the script for this whole other reality. And if you can bring people into that bubble, theater can be a real powerful force because it uses, you know, visual, writing, music. You can use all of those things together.
I think while you're home, you should do a podcast on your own. I think it would be great. I think you can create some really cool freaking content.
You know, I'm pretty low tech. I'd be out in the street like talking in my sleeve.
Well, people do that now. They got the watches, you know, so you can talk in your watch and you look normal.
I think him doing a podcast while you're home, just try one. Sit down with one of your art buddies or something and just have a conversation. You've got a lot of great stories too, man. You can it'd be a great platform for you.
I feel there's a
strong
resurgence of art back into the Utica area too lately.
Oh yeah, by far.
It's never left. This town breeds artists.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have the infrastructure for artists to always succeed. So a lot of people go try their fortunes elsewhere. But this town builds artists.
But with Chicken saying, like, right now, these kids are staying in town and actually doing positive things in the community, and there's, like, this really influx of young kids and young, talented people coming together as groups and creating these awesome events.
Yep.
It's
awesome.
Really, really, it's really cool to see. And it's something that we've never seen here in my 40-plus years. And it's really starting, the art community has really grown a lot in the last couple of years.
And kudos to, you know, people like Angela Johnson, who's going out there and really kind of flying that flag with, you know, the arts and things of that nature. And Gina over at, you know, doing Utica music, or the Utica Summerfest. You know, she's bringing like a lot of art back to.
The list goes on and on. There's so
many different. Yeah.
Mark Pelosi, another one. Tino Lopez, Tony Thompson.
Nice.
These guys are still out there doing their thing, and there's a great community of people that are just doing really cool events, and I like seeing it, and it's only going to help because they're going to influence the younger generation as well.
And it gives these artists a chance to showcase what they do.
Right.
I mean, when we were at Flower Fest, I'm watching, you know, these guys making paintings with, you know, spray painting right outside, and you know, all the different displays. It was really, really cool. And you're just like, man, these people are from local. Like, you thought they'd ship them in from out of town, but no, these people are from local. You know, they're all here, and they finally have an outlet for their art.
Last week we were at the block party down the street at James Street, the Empowerment Center, and Tony and Tino were out there creating a live mural, and it looked great what they were doing. And, you know, they were there all day doing their thing.
And it's great to incorporate people into the process, because people have a sense of like we're inundated with images and we go see art. But when you see art being made and it's not the finished project, you see how it comes together, and it's a nice window into, you know, the reality of an artist to see them working. So it's generous of them, because, you know, it's tough to put yourself out there like that. You know, like, it's hard to come to conclusion with your work sometimes and then feel okay enough to show it, let alone let people in during the process while all the stuff's happening. So
it's like writing a song right in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's like props to those guys for sure.
You ever done on a live setting? You do murals and stuff, right? Some painting.
I have. Yeah.
Have you ever done it to music? Not like a live performance, like a band playing and you're painting on the side of the stage or something like that. Have you ever done that?
Near music, but never as part of a specific performance.
Just kind of in the background.
Yeah. At like multi-mixed media events where it's all going on at once, but never specifically like I'm here trying to incorporate this performance into this work and make a bridge between it like that. No.
But I always find it fascinating to see what artists put colors to the music. I always find that fascinating.
A lot of artists work with music. I mean, I'm working at home and painting. There's the tunes that I like that are informing like whatever emotions that I'm working with, and you go for it. So I can see it happening. It's just the live aspect is a little confronting, I guess. Some people are balls out and they go do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna ask about, when you do painting, are you listening to something specific, or you just like it quiet?
Yeah,
and
I love
brain?
music, so I'm all over the place.
It's all about the mood, right?
It's all about the mood. Every painting's different, every story's different. There's always some kind of background, adding to the vibe that just channel it into the work.
Yeah. What's your future plans, man?
I was just gonna ask that.
What
What's
do you
next?
got?
I really don't know. Everything was really up in the air. I settled in Hawaii, had everything going. Wasn't planning on making a break from that lifestyle, and I don't necessarily have to. I have to relocate a little bit, live on a different part of the island, because that whole southeast quadrant the whole landscape's changed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. If something opens up, or if I feel called in one direction or other, that will inform what choices I make. But I really don't have a strong set of where I go. I know I'm going to be making art where I go. That's what I do. So the setting can change. The community can change. The country can change. The climate can change. I'm gonna do me. But I just don't know where that's going to be.
Right on. You got video of the lava? I want to see some of that.
Nothing I can access, but I can send some things if you want to edit it into your mix.
No, not we don't have to put it into this mix. I just want to see it personally.
yeah.
Just want to check it out. I've never seen lava before. I grew up here in upstate New York. We're not around volcanoes, or I think there was like one earthquake in this town ever.
There's been a couple.
There has been, yeah. I remember a couple of years ago there was a little shaking, a little rumbling,
Mm-hmm.
and that's no joke, man. Is there earthquakes often in Hawaii?
There's seismic activity because it's a volcano,
Right.
But the number of earthquakes that have happened in the last month is some ridiculous number in the thousands.
Wow, in the thousands.
Yeah. So up to 5.5, I think 6.9 was the biggest one.
Oof.
So there's a lot of these little rumblers, but there's that lava spike is coming from the center of the planet, and it's going to find its way to the surface. Like if the planet's the boiler, Hawaii is this place where there's a volcano that's always flowing. It's like the pressure valve. So it's going to come to the surface, and it's better that it does, because if it didn't, you get a bigger type of eruption. So it's shaking out there right now.
I can imagine. I can see how that's unsettling. Scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Volcano is just something we're not accustomed to here.
No.
Give us a blizzard, we'll just keep driving through it.
Yeah.
A volcano, it's a whole different ballgame.
It is.
Maybe we should get some lava for the wintertime. See what happens.
I can mail you some.
Yeah, mail me some. Put it in the shipping container. Man, Adam, this has been fun, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Plug your book, plug your website, and how people can get a hold of you on social media.
All right, AdamSpiridilozzi.com. The book is called Union and Annihilation. It's also available on Amazon. And I'm on Facebook with the same name. And, I don't have too much of an online presence. I still like to handshake and meet people.
Yeah.
But I'm
That's important.
trying to jump in and participate in this century.
Yeah. Welcome to the 21st century, Adam.
I'm always 200 years behind.
That's not a bad thing, my friend. That is not
Sometimes
a
it's
bad-
Sometimes you're blacksmithing and you're like, what? I'm really behind the curve on this.
Yeah, but sometimes it's refreshing. You know what I mean? Like find somebody who's not got their head in their phone 24/7. Somebody who knows what it's like to be a part of the world instead of just looking through it through their phone.
I'm still there. I catch myself like, wow, I looked at this fucking screen a lot today. It's part of the modern world, and it's changing consciousness, and it's changing awareness, where we go and where we put our attention, and
It's changing our communication.
even if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I'm still tapped in and feel that change. We're being changed by the technology.
Yeah.
It's helping and growing and building our civilization, but it's also like taking us away from something too.
Personalization. You know what I mean? Like people have actually sitting there having a conversation and not being distracted by their phones or their watches now and all this other stuff.
And if you grow up with it, it used to be a problem. Kids grow up on the television, and like your television's raising the kids, right? So now like kids are born and they got a screen in their hand. So if they get so much of their information and so much of their attention goes to the phone, I think they're going to start looking to the phone for what's real instead of looking to people. Like, I don't believe my parents. I believe what I see on the screen. You know, like, so I think it takes people away from depthful human interaction. I think there's a lot of kids growing up with, I can't say my pro-social skills are great, but I think there's kids growing up just disconnected with their head in another world and not having the skills to communicate and really be with people because the go-to is the screen.
And everybody also likes to label everybody, so everyone has a label. And like, you know, when you refer to a group of people, you refer to their label rather than actually meeting the people and actually getting to know them and see where they stand on things.
Yeah, and you can dismiss people once you put a label on them. So like people stop seeing each other. They just, okay, well, that's this group, and I no longer have to pay attention to anything they say because I've got them grouped and filed in whatever category, and that takes us away from each other. We don't need any more separation. We don't need any more focus on like how different we are. We need to focus as a global community on like, whoa, we're all in this together. If we don't like figure out how to erase the borders and take care of the planet that we're on, that it's all going to go to shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right about that. Plus the parenting, they use these things to babysit your children, you know, which is the worst idea.
But it's not just like parents' fault. Like our society is built in a certain way. There was a time in the last 100 years where you could have one parent in the workforce and provide a good living to raise a family. Now you've got two parents in the workforce, and that doesn't even like pay the bills sometimes. So it's not just a lack of parenting. I think it's a fallacy of the culture that we've built, that we put so much emphasis and need into material stuff. And it's not that people are just chasing material. I mean, just to have what you need, you got to have both parents in the workforce. And guess what? Your phone, your television, your teachers, your daycare, everyone else is teaching your kids but you. And I think that was one of the reasons that my parents moved me up into the middle of nowhere when we were young. Not that there was a big technological thing, but they saw a community changing, they saw a society changing, and they had ethics and ideas and morals, and they wanted to raise us in the world that they shaped, giving us what they thought was important, you know, to build us up with their ideals and beliefs and ethics rather than, you know, just letting us run loose in the world, learning from all this. I mean, there's plenty to learn from it, but there's plenty to not learn from it.
I feel like so many people are so removed. Like, you're living in the world, you know, you're traveling, you're doing this stuff, and you're gaining life experience. Where most people, they only get these experiences because of their computer screen or their phone and whatnot, and they're too afraid to step out of the norm because, God forbid, they get away without their phone. I hear it all the time when I talk to people about going to my camp. They're like, how can you survive without a cell phone and you're no electricity, and you got to pump the water and all this and that? And they're so amazed by it. But then when you actually experience it and you're sitting there and you actually have to converse and get up and do things and be a part of something, it feels great.
It does feel good, and life slows down.
Absolutely does.
And you're connected to the things that
you're like, what time
keep
is
you
it?
alive. You're connected to your water because you pumped it from the well or carried it to the house. You're connected to the heat that keeps you alive because you chopped the wood that autumn. You know, It's a slower life, but it's connected, and it feels good. It does feel good.
I feel everybody should experience that at one point in their life.
I agree.
You know, just get out there, fall off the grid for a few days, and
go camping.
Go camping, man. And not camping in a Winnebago, not camping in a nice luxury, you know, cabin. Get out there and sit in the dirt, get dirty, you know.
Nature is medicine.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Nothing better for your soul than just to get out there and relax in nature. And when I say relax, you're out there chopping wood, you're building fires and, you know, things like that. But it just feels great when you're all done, you know.
Indeed. I can't wait to get out in the woods.
Me too.
I'm going to do some camping this year for sure.
Good.
You know, it's good to shut it off, get away from everything.
It resets your brain.
Context. Yeah. Context. You don't have to travel to another country. Just get out in the woods for a minute and you say, whoa, it's not as much noise in my head as I thought there was.
Recharge that creative battery too.
We have the Adirondacks right up here, right, you know, and to me that's God's country. And I would love to see, you know, Hawaii as well, the way you describe it, because it's it's God Country, but in a whole different aspect. And I love taking in those experiences. You know.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, before we get out of here, we got to talk about the Grub and Gab.
Yeah.
Talking about an experience. Adam, we got this food challenge going on here at the D. We're doing this food challenge June 26th at Old Babies over there on Oneida Street in between New Hartford and Utica.
Is it a cook-off or an eat-off?
Well, it's going to be an eat-off. It's called the Goliath. And the Goliath is like a 3 times the sandwich.
Right. I'll read off. There's 2 choices that you could get.
You get 2 choices. So
One's the All-American and the other one's the Broheim. So the All-American is lettuce, tomato, onion, hot cherry peppers, mayo, mustard, hickory bacon, chicken breast, turkey, ham, and American cheese. Now, this sandwich is triple everything.
That. So triple all that meat, all the toppings, and it makes a sandwich like this, like foot high.
And the Broheim is lettuce, tomato, green onions, roasted peppers, hot peppers, mayo, Gouda cheese, roasted pork, baked ham, roast beef, and honey mustard dressing. So,
which one was that one again?
That's the Broheim.
That's the one I would do.
Dude, they're so good.
That's the one I would do.
They just make me hungry right now. But then it comes with a pound of fries, right? And then you got to pound it with a 2-liter, either a 2-liter soda, or you could bring in a 40-ounce of beer. And everything has to go. We're setting a new standard. So this has never been completed. This is undefeated. The Goliath is undefeated right now. So we're looking for challengers to take this thing on.
Yeah, and set the bar.
So whoever does it in the quickest amount of time, they're the new bar.
So nobody's won?
Nobody's
won. Or the
won.
person that no one's finished, but whoever has gotten the closest to finishing has won before.
Well, they had a half-hour.
But you're hoping that somebody like finishes.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to finish.
They had a half-hour time limit on
Eat till you puke, right?
But we don't know if that was actually enough time to put this sandwich down. So now we're opening it up, and whoever finishes it first is now the new
set
the
your
new
own
champion.
time. It's like a marathon. You got to pace yourself, right?
Yep.
At least you know it's doable at that point.
It's all going down Tuesday, June 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Old Baby's Gourmet Sandwich Shop. It's 4126 Oneida Street in New Hartford. We're looking for competitors, so if people are interested, hit us up.
Yep.
I think, what are we doing, like 5 to 7 competitors, something like that?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something that we could keep track of.
We have something. It's going to be small. It's like 5 to 7. Chicken made the event yesterday and threw it up on Facebook, and the thing blew up.
Yep.
It blew up yesterday, and a lot of interest have been gained from that event that you made yesterday. But we're looking for competitors, so if you're interested in competing in the Goliath Challenge, hit us up, disruptionnetwork@gmail.com, or hit us up through the social medias, or slide into our DMs. I always wanted to say that.
Even if you want to come watch, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have music there. Ease Beats and Bizz are going to be there. We're going to be there live.
We want everybody to come hang out and watch this challenge that
we're broadcasting live. They're going to have a cornhole challenge.
Yeah.
It's not the actual. We're not going to play cornhole. We're going to have it set out, in the distance, and kind of like a fair game where you got to pay. It's
going to be a distance thing.
Yeah,
it'll be a distance thing.
But the proceeds from that will go to Jam for John, who is a employee over at Old Babies who's going through some cancer, and they're doing a little benefit for him. So
so we're gonna raise money for him,
absolutely,
as well as watch people stuff their faces with this Goliath sandwich. The winner gets a golden ticket from Old Babies.
Yeah, which is a sandwich a month for a year.
Yep, and then also we're giving them a couple pairs of tickets to get the lead out at the Saranac Brewery. Your wall goes up on the. Your picture goes up on the wall, and that picture space right now completely empty. So you're going to be the first one on that wall. There's a whole bunch of accolades that you get along with it. I think the T-shirt and bragging rights, of course, and there's a couple little things we'll sprinkle on top for a little extra bonus for whoever wins the Goliath Challenge. And like Chicken said, the D will be on hand. We'll be broadcasting live. We're going to have music from our Ease Beats and Bizz boys. There's going to be games and prizes and a whole bunch of fun that only the D can provide.
Absolutely, man. Have you ever been to a D party? You know what to expect.
Absolutely. It's all going down Tuesday, June 26th. It's Old Baby's Gourmet Sandwich Shop. It's 4126 Oneida Street in New Hartford. We're going to be there from 5 o'clock on. Well, Ease Beats and Bizz, I think they're going to be doing some of their show from there as well.
I believe so, too.
Tuesday.
I think they're going to do their show right live from there as well.
Yeah, so that's all going down. Like I said, even if you don't want to compete in the competition, come and hang out. Come enjoy. Maybe come join us on a podcast. And it's our very first Grub and Gab. And we got a whole new series going on with restaurants and bars called the Grub and Gab. So if any restaurants out there interested in having the D come to their restaurant or their bar, hit us up.
Hit us up.
And we would love to be a part of whatever you got going on. What we do is we will promote the event for a whole month, and then we'll come
and have a party.
And have a party at the end.
I just got to give a little shout out here. You know, speaking of Ease, Beats, and Bizz, it is Bizz's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Bizz.
birthday, Bizz.
Yeah, I texted him earlier. Happy birthday. I think he's the oldest one on our team.
Really? He's older than Gabe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
I'm serious.
I didn't think anybody was older than Gabe.
No, he is.
He calls him Uncle Gabe.
Yeah. I was asking Gabe the other day. I was like, hey, man, what was Lincoln like? I thought that was... He kind of got offended. But anyways, happy birthday to Bizz. And speaking of content, we got more content coming on the D tonight. The Baseline, the baseball podcast with hosts SPG and JP. They're going to be in the mix talking about all the great things going on in Major League Baseball.
Those guys are killing it.
They're killing it. They're doing great. And I'm happy they're on our team, man.
Absolutely.
They're doing some good stuff out there.
They make us sound good.
Yes, and then tomorrow morning, Back Talk will be up in the mix.
No, he doesn't make us sound good.
The very controversial Tommy Drama. He likes to get all political and piss people off.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's really good at pissing people off. So that's going on tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Back Talk. There's Bizz right there. Happy birthday, Bizz. We threw you some love, man. We love you, Bizz. He's out there.
Killed it. Last Sunday.
I'm glad you brought that up. He did.
Oh, my God. Look at this dude.
He did. He killed it last Sunday. It was unbelievable what he did with Joe Driscoll after the Dirty Head show at the Celtic Harp after the brewery.
And you could just see the two of them feeding off each other.
Oh, they loved it.
They loved it. Like, he's like, hit him up, Bizz. And Bizz was just grinning ear to ear, man. Like, you know, because he's used to, like, playing, like, parties and other stuff. And now he actually gets to produce music, you know, get out there and make his own sound. It's great. He was killing it.
Yeah, that's where he needs to be. He needs to be in a
Absolutely.
band scratching it up and stuff. It sounded amazing. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Joe Driscoll and Bizz do in the future because I feel like that's going to be a thing now.
I mean, both times they played, they were kind of off the cuff. And I like to see them both, like, kind of rehearse something and put it all together and just blow people's minds.
Yeah, indeed. Right on, man. I want to remind everybody they can listen to this podcast and previous podcasts of EC Radio and all the cool content we have on the D at disruptionnetwork.net. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Twitch and all those social media platforms that you can find the D.
Yes, please subscribe to our YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, we're trying to get our YouTube numbers up, so they're...
Delete the old app. We got a new one on the way.
We do got a new app on the way. In fact, we got a meeting with the guy next week, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we do have a phone app coming. Can't wait for that. I'm really excited.
I'm too. It's about time. Delete the old one. You'll get a virus or something, herpes, whatever. I don't know. Just delete the old one.
You might turn into a fucking
fucking.
A little inside joke between me and Chicken. What are you doing this weekend? You working all weekend?
I'm working all weekend. But
Okay.
I might do some tubing on Saturday, I'm thinking.
Right on.
Might do some tubing down to West Canada.
I'll be at the Stanley on Sunday or Saturday. There's a bodybuilding competition. Mr. and Mrs. Upstate New York is going on.
Are you going to take off your shirt and flex and show what you got?
I was thinking about it.
You're putting in some work there, buddy.
I'm always putting in work. And then also Sunday is Father's Day. So
Yes,
happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And all the kids want to thank you for not pulling out. So we'll see you later.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
Never you mind what I'm making. You should spend some time taking a personal inventory of what you're doing for the betterment of society.
EC Radio.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
Hi, this is attorney Nick Pasalacqua. The team of attorneys I have assembled at Pasalacqua & Associates has been carefully hand-picked to include the best trial attorneys in the particular areas of the law that we practice. Have you been charged with DWI or any other crime? Members of our team include former assistant district attorneys, now fighting to protect your rights 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you or someone you love been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident? Members of the team at Pasalacqua & Associates include former insurance defense attorneys, now fighting to ensure that you get every penny you're entitled to. If you need legal help quick, don't waste your time or money calling anyone else. Remember, for legal help quick, you better call Nick. and the team at Passalacqua Associates. 315-500-NICK or 315-500-6425 or visit cnytriallaw.com today.